Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I wanted to share with you why I ultimately decided not to get an au pair. And I want to start off by saying that I did a ton of research on getting an au pair as a form of childcare for my now 2-year-old, and we have one on the way, because there are so many benefits and pros of getting an au pair over other childcare. So I wanted to touch on those, and then I'll jump into the reasons why ultimately it decided that it was not a good fit for me. First off, au pairs are full-time, they're live-in, and you get them at a great price. So in California, the minimum wage is $15.50. So even if we were to have a live-in nanny, we would still, in addition to their living expenses, be required to pay them the minimum wage. Whereas an au pair, they're allowed to work up to 45 hours per week, do light cleaning and cooking, and care for your child 45 hours a week. So that breaks out to about $10 per hour, with the average annual cost of having an au pair being about $22,000 per year. Another benefit is if you have multiple kids. So au pairs, you're not going to pay them more if you have 2 or 3 kids, whereas a preschool, daycare, childcare program, you're going to pay a certain amount per kid. And lastly, before we jump into the cons, I just wanted to mention that I've heard from so many people that they had great success with their au pairs and were really happy with the program altogether. But with all of the pros do come cons. So here are my top 5 reasons for not getting an au pair. First off, the reviews. I could not find one au pair program that had more than 3 stars online, which was really discerning when a lot of them had so many online reviews. And of course, there was good and bad, but when I'm looking for a restaurant or hotel, I normally don't go with anything below 4 stars, and unfortunately, none of them had 4+ stars on their online reviews. Number 2 is that a lot of the au pairs are females in their young 20s. Now, I know what I was like at that age. All I cared about was going out, boys, and got through college somehow. These girls are obviously interested in childcare, but they're also looking at this program as an opportunity to travel abroad, party, meet boys, and in a lot of the reviews, I did read a lot of horror stories that au pairs cared more about going out and meeting boys than being up early to take care of their kids. Number 3 is the driving aspect. So a lot of these au pairs are traveling from outside of the US, and that means that their driving skills may not be on par with what is required here. So if you do need your au pair to chauffeur your kids around, this could be a pain point for you, because in a lot of the reviews, people said that the au pairs inflated how many driving hours of experience they actually had, and they did crash host families' cars with and without kids in them, which is super scary when you're trusting someone with the safety of your kid. Number 4 is no refunds. So a lot of the au pair programs will allow you to swap out au pairs if they get homesick or for whatever reason you decide it's not working out with them, but they will always require that you switch and get a different au pair in. They will not give you a prorated refund, and I found this was the case with all of the programs that I looked into. And lastly, number 5, which wasn't as big of a con for me because I am my own boss, so worst case scenario, I could stay home with my child if I didn't have childcare. But a lot of people that have 9-to-5 jobs, they're really relying on that full-time care. And in the reviews, they expressed that if the au pair didn't work out, they were left at the last minute for weeks on end with no pre-established childcare. So if the au pair doesn't work out, they have to go back to their country. It takes several weeks to get a new one in place. So with the au pair program, you're really relying on one person, whereas a daycare or preschool, you're relying on a school or an establishment that typically has substitutes, teachers, or aides in place that can step in if someone's sick or needs to take an extended leave. So that concludes my cons of having an au pair and why I ultimately decided that it wasn't the best decision for our family. But if you do have experience with having an au pair, good or bad, or have any questions, definitely leave them in the comments below. I'm sure that our viewers would love to see them, and I get back to the comments as quickly as possible. So like this video if it was useful, and we will see you on the next one.